Hey everybody, welcome back to the Reality Wind Down, a podcast where we break down all the latest Bravo TV drama and the biggest pop culture moments of the week, one glass of wine at a time. I'm Chase.
I'm Cassidy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I am at my parents' house this weekend, so that's why we are not in the same room, guys. It is my dad's birthday, so we're down here celebrating, but we couldn't not give y'all an episode.
I
We have to
know.
record no matter what.
Yeah, of course. I also feel like I haven't seen you, which is very weird because
No,
that's
it's
not
been like a
normal.
week. It's been a week, and that feels very intense for us.
Yeah, because usually we'll hang out on the weekends. I feel like things have been going on, good things, but just a lot. So I feel like I was sad because I was like, you're also gone now. And I'm like, I needed some time, but like you said, we had to record anyway. So we're still going to be catching up.
We're going to reunite on Sunday. We're going to Sunday fun day it in honor of not seeing each other for a week.
We just
happening.
Celebrate the small things. And that's just not seeing each other after 2 weeks. We celebrate anyway.
It wasn't even it can't be 2 full weeks because we definitely podcasted last Wednesday together, right? So it'll be like 8 or 9 days, but that is very long for us.
I mean,
so,
by the time it gets to Sunday, it'll be even closer to 2 weeks, and I think that's
y'all know math can't be doing too much up in my brain. So I'm gonna pretend like I knew the days of the week and time, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
I have no idea. Oh, but I did want to tell you, I did finally go to the happy hour at the sushi restaurant I've been wanting to go to.
Oh my God, now I'm blacking out. I'm trying to think. Oh, the one by you?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know you're not the biggest fan of sushi.
No, I do like a sushi. I'm just basic with it. I'm a basic bitch with my sushi.
Okay. I will write that down as one of the things I don't like about you.
Are we starting a list now? Because hold on, my list is right here. I'm kidding.
you actually do a scroll. You throw it down and it just rolls.
I have a map, you can tell I'm in my dad's office. It's so obvious right now. But the backside is just things I hate about Chase on a scroll.
But it actually is I was going to say that because if you didn't like sushi that much, they had so much more on their menu than I expected. And it was so good. They had Wagyu beef, skewers. There's some tartars. There's a whole veggie menu, which was great because producer Joe's vegetarian.
Yes.
And I kept thinking, I was like, we have to come back here. You're going to love it. In the happy hour, I swear they have 2 separate happy hour menus.
Okay.
Everything's half off. There's wine for $6, beer for $4, sake for $4. So good. I didn't tell you that. I just thought about that because I am very hungry, so I'm thinking about food.
Everyone always talks about this place. I don't know if I can say names or not, but everyone always talks about it. But I definitely want to try that, and I'm 100% down because let's be honest, we love a happy hour. Happy hour is the way to go in life.
It is.
I don't like drinking at night. I like to do a happy hour, start at 4, and then get pretty lit until 8, and then I can be in my bed by 9:30, and I'm good. You
still get that good night of sleep. You still have that fun, and also it's good for your pocketbook because we also need to save some money. So it really just does everything for us. It's the best. So I just had to remind you. I had written that down. I was like, make sure to tell Cassidy about how good that experience was because I was like, we have to go back.
I just can't believe we've never been, but we definitely are going to.
I know.
If y'all didn't know, I feel like we've probably talked about this before, but Chase is obsessed with Korean barbecue also.
I am.
And they're opening a Korean barbecue place by me, so we'll definitely have to check that out too.
Okay, we have things to do on our list, and it's restaurant week, which is actually restaurant month, so we need to do that as well.
Month and a half, I think. It's Houston restaurant weeks last 6 weeks, so we need to check that out. For sure.
Oh, and before we go, I was gonna say, look what I'm wearing today.
Look at this shirt, guys. If you're not, you have to come look on our YouTube, or maybe I'll take a picture and post it on our Insta.
This was actually.
Hold on, let me Okay, we have to screen grab that.
That was perfect. A little pose. This is what Cassie got me for my birthday. I don't remember. I think we may have shown it before, but
no, we haven't.
Oh my God!
Also, so I ordered it from a website, and it definitely needs to be 4 inches higher.
Yeah, this was our tester.
Isn't it cute?
Just imagine it's like this.
Oh my God! We're gonna get a little pen, and we'll just honestly, you can't tell because it's black, so you could just pen it up. It's solid color.
That's why I was whenever I was doing this, I was
together this on the show. It's so good. It's our logo, and
so I just had to show that off before we got into the episode.
I totally have to get one too, and we have to match because we're lame like that.
I mean, of course.
Okay, guys, do you want to jump into hot takes this week?
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, this first one, what the hell is happening in Beverly Hills? Lisa Rinna posted an Instagram story. It said, now that, dang it, I wish they had shown the screaming fight between the producer and Erica last night on the show in La Quinta. Now that would have been epic TV. Too bad. Bravo, bravo, fucking bravo. I'll get in trouble for this in 5, 4, 3, 2, with a bunch of laughing emojis.
And I think that just set off the Bravo verse into conspiracy theories, to assumptions, to allegedlys, to like thinking of like what possibly could have happened. And I mean, there's really only 2 theories. And the one that I saw that was on, I think Best of Bravo posted it, was that Garcelle actually never heard Erica say that Tom's calling her. Erica only told Crystal, and then production told Garcelle, and Garcelle brought it up. And that's why Erica was kind of like, I guess, very pissed, which led her to yell at a producer.
Right.
So that's one of them. And another one is that Garcelle was told later, like production still told her to ask, but to ask Erica. Right. Erica told her, and then she brought up later. So I don't know what to believe. I personally don't really care because, like, Erica, you did tell someone on a hot mic. So either way, obviously they were going to use it. Like, if you didn't want them to know, don't say it at all.
Exactly. I feel I'm really getting more towards the point of where when you tell lies, right, you have to like keep up with your lies. So she had said at the beginning, oh, Tom hasn't like reached out. I haven't said a word to him, blah, blah, blah. Now it's Tom is calling her all the time and she's not answering and she's like redirecting it. It's like once you start telling stories and like you start implicating yourself even worse, like it's so hard to believe you on anything.
And as I was saying, like on the hot mic, she was saying like that what you just said, then also that he's saying that he misses her. He wants her to come home. He loves her, all this stuff, which doesn't align with this whole like he hates me persona that she's made him.
Yeah, so, she literally was trying to paint it like, oh, I knew nothing. Like, he's just been a dick to me for so long, blah, 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 blah. And now, like you just said, it's the flip side of, I love you, baby. I want you to come home. I miss you. What is the truth? I am having such a hard time with any of it.
I think
she's really just digging herself a hole,
I think everyone is. Oh, and another part. I don't remember where I saw this, but also supposedly, like, the housewives were, like, on the producer side, or at least Kyle was. Like, someone said that on Instagram somewhere, allegedly.
I'm surprised by that because like she's still been partying out with Erica. I guess maybe just at that moment she was like, chill out, don't go off on the producer. But we all know that Kyle is such good friends with the producers, and that's why she always has a hand in picking the show.
So. And also just kind of like, I think Kyle's like, okay, well, if you didn't want it on air, then you wouldn't say it whenever you're mic'd, kind of thing. And also there was an interesting scene, which I need to rewatch this back a few more times. I did already, and because someone mentioned it, so I rewatched it. And before everyone sits down, Garcelle does mention to Erica, like, hey, that's so crazy about that Tom calls you. And Erica was like, I know. So it's like she had to have told her before that.
Wait, that was...
when they were sitting in the living room.
Before they were on the mountain? Okay, so when they're on the mountain, though, she told her. Like, she says it to her. She goes, oh, Tom's still calling you. And then they go back into the living room after that.
And then she says it again before she says it to the whole group. So I feel like there's plenty of time for her to be like, you shouldn't bring this up.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. We'll get into that when we get into the episode. But it is wild that, of course, Lisa Rinna drops a bomb as perfectly as she always does, starting the drama with her in the middle of it.
It makes you almost feel like that maybe someone's telling her to do it also. Like maybe someone like behind the scenes is like, look, we want this to get out, that like we are
probably.
Like, you know, like something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if randomly a clip is floating around the internet here in the next week.
I cannot wait for the reunion already. Like, I don't want the season to end, but I cannot wait because I mean, Andy's gonna have to ask about this stuff. It's everywhere. Like,
I mean, it's everywhere.
There's no way you can avoid this. So.
No, I mean, it's the whole story, so there has to be a million questions. So very interesting.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. We also, this came out this week, and I was very surprised. We have another Salt Lake City housewife in some legal drama. Miss Mary Cosby herself was charged with unlawfully providing shelter to a runaway.
So explain this one to me a little bit more. I saw the headlines. I haven't dived into it quite yet, So you need to fill me in. I just also love that there's another housewife going through legal stuff. What the fuck is happening this year?
Salt Lake,
what is happening?
Stuff that's going on with Jen Shaw and now Mary too. Like, I don't know if they're still filming, but I don't think it sounds like that serious. But I mean, it was serious enough for her to get charged, and she's pled not guilty. But she was charged with unlawfully providing shelter to a runaway and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So she, like I said, she pled not guilty. I think it sounds like a situation, maybe like her son had a friend and he ran away from home and then she was letting him stay there or something and keeping it on the down low. Like, there aren't a lot of details that have come out, but it says Mary's saddened that she was dragged into another family's domestic situation, but she's confident that the misunderstanding will be cleared up soon.
Yeah, to me, I was gonna say, off like solely face value, it seems like she may have been doing the right thing by like letting someone stay with her, maybe not telling someone where they were because they were like worried. I don't know. Like, they were on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
And if that's completely wrong, whatever.
It's the vibe I'm getting.
It's just the vibe I'm getting. Exactly. So it's just interesting and hilarious that another housewife is being dragged in to a legal issue. What is happening?
It's like, I feel like there's always been legal drama that like goes on, but I feel like we're at an influx of it right now. I feel like there's like 1,000 things happening. But like, this came out the same day as the stuff about like production with like Rinna and Erica and all that. And I felt like this really got swept under the rug. Like, I didn't see much.
Yeah, I didn't see much about it either.
Today. Yeah. So and I feel like that would have been like big breaking news. But no, because a lot of other stuff is going on, like you said, and it's bizarre.
But speaking of things that are big, Brandi's big ass hand. What the hell was that about?
Guys, Brandi Glanville has been in the hospital for a possible infected spider bite, and she's claiming that she might lose her hand.
Oh, really? She's saying that now?
Yeah, she's like, hey guys, I was admitted to the hospital yesterday, and I have amazing first responders taking care of me. We're not exactly sure what we're dealing with, but we believe it may be an infected spider bite, more tests to run. And she said her hand was like the size of a balloon, and she was concerned she was going to have to get it amputated. But it does look like it might be finally starting to go down. And
she did call it a hoof at one point, which just made me think of the Maloof hoof.
Not the Maloof hoof. Ooh, I feel like that was intentional from her because she hates it.
I feel like did you see her post? It was like something about a hoof hand or something.
No, I did not see. I see the picture of the actual hand, but
it's pretty gross, actually.
It's like, it doesn't look like it's the size of the balloon, but it is nasty. It's like all right here. It's like super red.
Not a fan. Like, that freaks me out because she even said it was like at night maybe a spider bite got her, which is like my biggest fear because they always say like you at least like eat like 12 bugs in like a certain time frame because like you swallow it at night.
No, it's over like the course of your life. Like you'll eat like 1 million bugs or something. Like,
don't even say 1 million. I went with 12. Let's go with 12.
No, it is like way more. Okay, it's probably not 1 million, but it's definitely not 12. We're probably somewhere in the middle, like 30,000.
I was gonna say, okay, 500,000. Let's meet in the middle.
Like 500 trillion. Is that between or is that above? Y'all know we don't do math. But yeah, I mean, sending our thoughts to Brandi. I know that she's a little off sometimes, and she can be a little interesting, but obviously we hope that she gets better and her hand heals up and she doesn't have to amputate it.
She's probably gonna be like, she's gonna be like, Denise Richards sent this spider to bite me or something to try to get back on the show.
Would I be surprised by that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And our hot takes this week, we are just gonna do a couple of Ramona moments from her Watch What Happens Live.
How can we not?
Y'all remember the photo that was posted that we talked about of Mario, her ex-husband, and Elise Sloan, her ex.
Sloan, I think.
She was asked about that photo on Watch What Happens Live, and Ramona was pissed, and she said she will never talk to Elise again. She made clear that they were not hugging, they were just standing by each other, but she definitely thinks that she did it intentionally to try to get under her skin.
I mean, definitely. There's no way that she didn't do that yeah, as I say, no doubt in my mind. That was her intention. She hated Ramona. I mean,
100%.
Yeah, so why would she not?
I mean, yeah, she saw the ex there. She said, Mario, good to see you. Let's take a picture. Like, it probably like, wasn't even talking for 10 seconds. She said, come here, let's get a smile.
I mean, the fact that Mario was down, he should know better if him and Ramona are on, good terms.
I feel like Mario is just, Mario's always doing Mario. He's living his life, taking photos with hot chicks. He doesn't care.
I mean, he's single, so whatever.
True, touche. And also, I found this absolutely hilarious. So they were playing a game like of Do You Regret It on Watch What Happens Live. And one of the questions Andy asked her was, do you regret calling me today at 3:00 asking if you can get out of coming on the show tonight because someone offered you Lady Gaga tickets? And she's like, yes, I do regret it. But I'm saying, is that like the most Ramona thing ever? She gets a better offer and she's like, bye. Like,
yeah, and she doesn't regret it. She would have. I'm surprised she showed up, to be completely honest. I'm surprised she showed up.
It must have been like contractual, like for money or something.
Yeah,
she would have never just gone to watch Robin's live over going to go Gaga.
But also, couldn't she like not name a Lady Gaga song?
Yeah. And are we surprised by that either?
No. But it's just like hilarious. It's like, I have to go to this concert, but can't even name one of her songs. Even though it was a concert with Tony Bennett, so it's completely different. But still.
Like, she also was asked a question like, what is the name of Sonia's dog right now? Is it Marley or Milu? And she was like, oh God, it's Milu. And Andy was like, no, you went to Milu's funeral in season 4. She has Marley. Like, how does she not know? Like, that just
I don't get it.
Like, yes, you can have your 50 closest girlfriends, but you're not a good freaking friend. Like, you're not a good friend. And you blame it on, I can't remember names. Yeah, that's different. Like, if I didn't know the name of your dog's like one of my closest friends, like, that's bizarre to me.
Yeah, and I think because she like has to be friends with all these people, that she's never good friends with someone because she has to worry about so many people. At least she thinks.
The more friends you have, and I put that in air quotes, the less real friends you have, because you're just trying to surround yourself with bodies at that point. And that is what Ramona is the queen of doing, surrounding herself with bodies that are yes men to her.
Yeah, and as Queen Taylor Swift says, a person who's a friend to all is a friend to none.
Amen.
There you go.
The Book of Taylor.
The Book of Taylor.
Absolutely.
Amen.
We also were thinking, since we're already talking a little Ramona Singer, we're not going to like dive into New York, but we thought we would give a few thoughts from this week's episode.
Yeah, I mean, because like I honestly don't feel like too much happened besides like kind of a few funny moments, which really just revolve around Luann's wild ass Christmas song.
What do I want for Christmas?
Just you.
I was going to say the wrong words again. I was going to say but you, but it's just you. I'm never going to get this until like the music video comes out and I watch it 100 times.
Yeah, there you go. And then you'll remember it and still say but you.
Then I probably will. I probably will.
Why? What was this whole thing with all the caviar?
I don't know, but I did notice, shout out to Below Deck, that it was Petrovian caviar, which is apparently the very good one. I noticed the bag said Petrovian on the side, and I remember Chef Rachel on Below Deck.
She, love her.
Always talked about the Petrovian, the one that always talked about eating cooter. She always talked about Petrovian caviar.
So she knows the best caviar because she's being eaten good.
She knows the best seafood on the planet because she talks about eat my cooter all the time. So we know. But yes. I don't know. I feel like when you talk about things like that so much, you're not used to it, right? Like if you're someone who's like, oh, I'm so rich and fancy and I eat my caviar all the time, you wouldn't make it such a big deal to be like, did you eat caviar? Did you do this with caviar?
Well, actually, I feel like that's so on brand with Lou because she wanted everyone to know she got the best caviar. Right, she's like, you're coming to my shoot and you have the best food here. That just Ramona, have you tried it?
You're like, not fancy when you act like that though, because they're like,
don't they say money whispers, or wealth whispers.
Money
talks.
I was gonna say, remember
it's not in the Bible of Taylor Swift, so I don't know.
Remember Carlton Jebia, hers was like, money doesn't talk, it swears. And I almost said that and I was like, that's definitely not right. That is not what we're trying to say here.
We're not playing the tagline game, okay?
We're not playing the tagline game. But yeah, that was interesting. I don't know what the heck was up with that. We also learned that Ebony, the girl that she'd been interacting with, that was not her sister.
Yeah, that was like, I did feel bad for her. Because like there wasn't even so much the sister part of it, but it was because that meant that the only person she kind of thought was her dad, while he was not a good man to her, it's still sad because now she's completely like, oh, I have no idea who my father is. So I thought that was like a little bit sad of a moment. And then we had a weird scene with like Leah and her family. I feel like they were trying to make them relatable.
Yeah,
but
I don't know what they were doing with that.
Didn't relate at all, so I was just kind of like,
the only thing I was loving was Angel, like the dog walking around.
Oh, of course. I was into. But we got Angel at the shoot too.
Lived for that when they got to the Christmas shoot. I'm really looking forward to this Christmas song. I know that it sounds insane, but we love a bad song, and the fact that Luann, like Miss a professional singer, could not get any of her takes down. It looked like us doing our 30-second wind down.
Oh, 1,000%. But like we also don't even take that many takes.
No, she took like at least 50 more takes than us. It was bizarre.
And it is love how she blamed like them. She's like, well, I can't hear it and it's raining. So like I can't do my job.
And I was like, she's gonna wave at you whenever you're supposed to come in.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, whatever.
And also you could have told them that the first time, not the 30th time that you couldn't know your cue, if that was the case.
Blame someone else whenever it's definitely on them.
Always. I feel like Luanna's like a pro at that because she never wants to be at fault. So if she can blame someone else, you best believe she'll find a way to do it.
100%.
But that's really all I got out of New York this week, to be completely honest.
Yeah, like we're looking forward to the song.
Yeah. The thing is, I still enjoy their craziness because like that the chaoticness of that photo or that video shoot was just so classic RHONY, because like all of them running around, Ramona on the phone, Sonia lying about caviar, Ramona directing, saying that she's a producer and like anything she sets her mind to, Luann being delusional, Leah there with her dog that's like running around like shitting on things.
I know. It's just like, it's so chaotic.
Still enjoyable, but it's just like such small parts of them right now, I think is like
it's just like not worth like breaking down. Like, what can you, like, other than what you just said, what can you say about it, right? So it's one of those things.
Exactly.
But still, like you said, an overall enjoyable episode, just not much meat to talk about.
No. And you know I love meat, so if it's not there, sorry about it.
Meat. Speaking of meat, I have nothing to say about meat.
Yeah, I was like, I was so waiting for this.
Oh, wait, we did ask meat anything. No, I'm kidding. We didn't ask me anything. Instead of a game this week, we thought it would be fun to post on our Instagram and like a little ask me anything. Ask us any questions you want. And we got some responses. We put together a few of our favorites. And we thought that we would just like read them out and have some fun answering y'all's questions.
Yeah, I'm excited. We haven't done any like Q&A or ask me anything things before. So I'm looking forward to it. And we got some good questions. So how about we jump in? Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Question 1 comes from Cassie. And she said, how do y'all feel about having a new host for the reunions? Potentially, obviously, with the Nicki Minaj news that came out.
That's what I was going to say. She's alluding to that rumor.
Yes. Maybe Rihanna with New York.
I mean, please.
I mean, I am all the way here for it. I don't know about you, but I'm like thinking, why the hell not? Andy, half the time, like, I know that he doesn't have favorites, but I feel like sometimes he kind of zones out. I feel like it could be interesting if like Nikki has her favorites and it's kind of like, I don't know. I just think it could be fun. Like, I'm here for it.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to literally say, the Andy thing. It's like, I think he's checked out sometimes now.
Yeah.
Because obviously we know he has created this. We give him all that credit. He's the best at it. It's an interviewing and it's not hard, or interviewing is hard. Like, that is a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to see some new blood in there. Some like kind of like you said.
Especially Nicki Minaj. Like,
yeah, like she would be great. Like, I think Rihanna would be, like, I'm more of a Rihanna fan, so that's why I want to see her. But I think Rihanna's like pretty like tame compared to Nicki Minaj. So it'd be funny to see Nicki, because I feel like she would like fight back or like be sassy and super shady. So that would be really funny. I think if anything, maybe have her in, because they always do like 25 parts of a reunion. So like have like Nicki do like one part and then like Andy the other parts, you know, to kind of like still maybe have like our guy.
Because I feel like the first part is always like super like recapping and drama.
Yes.
And then the second part, like you throw in some more funny and shady moments, and she can handle those parts. And then the third, I feel like, is when it gets to like the serious, like horrible rumors that are going on. And like, I don't know if she'd want to be involved in that.
Yeah.
Also,
so
12-hour taping day, and I'm pretty sure that Nikki has like a lot of stuff to do. So I'm like, could she commit to a 12-hour taping day for this?
I feel like for this she would, because first of all, if you're the first person to ever do it besides Andy Cohen, that will be groundbreaking. Especially like Nikki, like they would be kind of like dumb not to bring her on, because her fan base is huge.
She's like 100 million followers on like Instagram, probably more than that.
Exactly. So you know what, Nicki Minaj or not, I would love to see interesting people kind of even be like a correspondent on the reunion, like something to like spice it up a little bit, you know?
That could be fun. Like, instead of having like Andy go back to the dressing rooms, have someone like in the back, like a like a football game, like on the back, like reporting live from like the locker room. Yeah, with like a tape recorder. That actually could be kind of iconic. And if you guys are looking for that, we're more than interested.
Yeah, I'm free. I'm good for a 12-hour shooting day.
I have nothing to do. I can literally make this work at any moment that you have. Please call.
Yeah, so I'm here for it. Yeah. I'm here for some new blood. I'm here for some new dramas.
We're both here for it then. That is our answer, Cassie. Mm-hmm. We are very much here for this. Well, our second question, which is a fun one. If you did not live in the South, what part of the United States would you live? Heather A asked that.
So that one's tough for me. So I'll let you start.
I mean, I would probably go either. I mean, you know me, I'm a beach gal. I love the beach.
True.
I love Rosemary Beach. I always say Rosemary Beach, Florida. I won the lottery. I would get like a house there because it's insanely expensive and gorgeous. And I also would like love to live in Hawaii. Just like wake up every day, just like go to local businesses, lay on the beach, surf. You know, I'm good. I could do that.
So you're definitely the beach girl. I think Rosemary Beach is beautiful. It's just unfortunate the state it happens to be located in.
I know.
No offense to Florida, but I guess a little bit of offense to Florida. But we're in Texas, so can we really talk? No.
That's true. We can't talk.
We can't talk. But I do love the beach vibe. I'm going two very opposites. So I have two as well because I think, as y'all already know, my heart is half in New York, so I feel like there.
If you guys didn't know, Chase did live in New York for 7 years before moving back. 7 years? 8 years?
8 years. But 8 years yeah, same back. Shit. And so, but I feel like I've already lived there, so I didn't want to like answer that. But I do love New York, so I'll just say that.
Okay.
But I randomly have always been drawn to like the mountains, so like Colorado. You know, somewhere I don't know a specific city, but like Colorado, just being like outdoors.
You could do like a Vail life. Imagine living in like Vail.
Yeah, like just something like it has stuff to do because I still want to have things to do. So it's like a place like that. But I want to be able to just like go like hiking, skiing, camping, just like out my back door because I feel like that's one thing Houston doesn't have easily accessible necessarily is like good hiking mountains and stuff. Like, yeah, we can drive like, you know, to the
flat. We're like
exactly.
Cities.
Like we can drive to it for a few hours, but it's like I have a few friends that live in Denver and it's like they literally just go like on day hikes because it's like 5 minutes away from their house. So I think I could find myself out in the mountains somewhere, which is very random because I don't know. I actually am very like outdoorsy. People don't know that about me, but
no, I think we both love being outside. So basically other than the New York one, both of our choices are based on the climate and being outdoors. And you like the cold a lot more than me.
And I like the cold, yes.
Yeah, so I think Denver, that area could be a great place for you.
So
but I love that question. I thought that was so fun. Thank you, Heather A. Aaron S. asked us, how did y'all meet and how long have you been BFFs? Cheers. I love the little cheers at the end. I had to throw that in.
Oh, cheers. I actually met Cassie when she first gay bashed me. I'm kidding. No.
God. What the hell are you? No, you have to give context to this story. This is the most ridiculous thing. But I'm going to tell you all the truth and what he calls this gay bashing. We're like friends with different people and like our friend groups like connect because we all go to the same high school.
Mind you, this is like 7th grade, right?
Yeah. And this is when Chase still had girlfriends, so I don't know what you're talking about right now. But he came over to my house and he had on long sleeves and shorts. And I was like, why are you wearing long sleeves and shorts? And that was his version of me gay bashing him. And then my mom came around the corner in long sleeves and shorts. And Chase said he was like super insecure because I said that to him. But my mom walked up to him and said, oh my God, I love that he's wearing long sleeves and shorts. I wear that all the time. And they were literally matching. So if you guys think that's gay bashing, then please, I will like go and like I'll never talk again.
No, it's 1,000% not. I just love that story so much because I just remember her being like, I can't believe you have long sleeves and shorts on. That makes no sense.
It was also your mom was like degrees outside, guys. It made no sense.
Okay, that is also a band, and I loved it 98 degrees. So are you gay bashing me too because they're a hot boy band?
I'm not gonna tell you. That was my first concert ever. So
oh my God, I'm so jealous.
I went to Houston Rodeo because I was in love with Nick Lachey and he.
But to answer that truthfully, we know each other because like we kind of actually met through a mutual friend.
Yeah. Like groups of friends, I feel like.
Yeah, it was like very early, so we were like really good friends like in high school. So we met in high school.
I feel like met when we were like 12, 13-ish, right? And like we go to
yeah. But then we started hanging out more when we were like in high school. And then we have like a third friend that we're like super close with. And then when I went to New York, I feel like we kind of, sorry, I'm like trying to find my phone. Oh, here it is.
You're giving yourself a foot massage.
I was like, I don't know what was happening. But then like I went to New York, and I feel like we always like kept in touch. Like we would
like Instagram.
Yeah, like it was like kind of like nice because like we would just randomly like pop in and be like, "What's up?" Or I always thought Cassie was really funny on Twitter, so I was always like laugh at her shit and be like, "Oh my god, this is a good one." And then like Cassidy happened to come to New York with her current fiance and our other friends, and it kind of was
my
just like
ex-fiance. You make it like I've had multiple fiancés here.
Hey, I don't know your life. Actually, I do. So
yeah, you do. But you do. Yes, we went to New York to visit.
Yeah, and that was like a really good time, and we're kind of like, damn, why haven't we like hung out more throughout these years? And then just so happened like that within the next couple years, I was coming back to Texas more, and I decided to move back, and we just were like, damn, we have so much in
around
common.
The corner from each other. We're like, oh my god, like
we had so much in common. Our boyfriends were like, y'all are annoying, go hang out without us. And we're like, oh my god, duh, we don't want to hang out with y'all either. And
it's just also weird that we both ended up with like boyfriends that were like the exact age older than us, and they both are from like different countries, and like it was just like the parallels were very weird.
Yeah, because like I always knew because of like you were tweeting, you like Housewives and stuff, but I didn't realize like how much you liked it. So that was obviously a plus. And then like exactly, you're a plus. And then weird things like Taco Bell, Diet Coke, like rosé, like it just all really just went together.
Diet Coke and rosé, not me.
Yeah, I'm literally like same Diet Coke like, and Red Bull, but
ew, okay, rude.
I know that's gross, but I needed some energy, okay? So yeah, we've known each other forever, but we're really close, kind of like not as close, but still kept in touch, and then got like really close again. So it's been a fun journey.
Like, so important to me. Like I always say this, it's so important to have like friends that you don't get in arguments with and like fight with. And like we're definitely one of those friendships. Like you're just like all you do is like laugh and have a good time, and you can talk about serious stuff, but like it's never someone that you're gonna like get into a beef with or have, you know what I mean? Anything like that. Which I
always kind of say too, it's like, yeah, like we went like two separate ways like after high school and stuff, but we were always like in touch, but we didn't like, it's like it's nice to have friends where if it doesn't always make sense to see each other all the time or talk all the time, but when you come together 100%. You just like hit it right back off, or like you 100%. You're maybe even a little bit older and like into different things, but it all just like works out. So I always like that too. Exactly. It never felt hard, and I feel like sometimes friendships can be work, and sometimes it's worth it, and it's like a different thing, but it's like they should at the most time be at least 90% easy and 10% like you should
have like
hard.
Friends you want to be around and you want to hang out with, and we always want to hang out, and we always have a great time when we hang out. So
exactly. So
we're lucky, aren't we?
We are lucky.
To that.
Cheers to that. I will cheers to that. Cheers.
I'm really looking forward to our Sunday.
I know, right? Now we really need to connect again. I'm gonna start crying.
We need to have a good cry together. Okay. Our next question comes from Sarah N. If you could be on any Housewives franchise, which would you choose? And I'm gonna like say current, right? Like right. Where would you go?
That was a very hard question. I've been thinking about this one all day because it's just like it's hard to say, because like I would want to be a Beverly Hills housewife because I think they have the best lifestyles and like house porn and like money and like vacation. I just want to be one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like want to be my current self and put myself into the franchise. But if I got to be one of them, I think I would pick Beverly Hills just for like the upgraded lifestyle.
Okay.
But for cast, like if I had to mesh with a cast, not even mesh, I think New York is just fun. Like I would love to be best friends with Sonia Morgan.
Oh my god, of course.
I would love to go to Bluestone Manor with Dorinda and have martinis.
I saw one of the accounts posted, like, can you imagine if Bluestone Manor was on Airbnb? I'd be like, we would literally book that.
Yeah,
like,
I would
absolutely.
Yeah, like Bing. I love Bing to death. He's even here with me today, but
look at Bing.
If I could sell you to go to Bluestone Manor, I would.
Liar.
No, I'm kidding. He would go with me.
Yeah, he would absolutely. We would bring all the pups and we would go to Bluestone Manor, and I would make sure that my dog shit on the floor just like Coco did in the same spot, and we would recreate all of these moments. But I'm into that. I'm into those answers.
Yeah. It's tough because like it's tough. But
if like you were going like historical, there'd be so many. I'd be like, okay, I'd want to be in Atlanta season 4, and I would want to be like New York season 3. But if we're going like current, I'm gonna do like a 180. I think this is gonna surprise you. I would go Salt Lake because early enough to like insert yourself in, and these ladies don't have too much of a history that I feel like I could just like slide in. Obviously, I'm gonna need some more money, but I don't know, after some of these housewives on there, we're not sure.
That's true. I mean, you're way better off.
Yeah, right? Like, I think I'd be okay there, actually. But yeah, like, I think it'd be fun. Like, go to Sundance, like, hang out with, like, the wives, like, hang out with Heather Gay.
See, I like this, and I feel like you're thinking of it from, like, longevity, or no, not even that, like a business standpoint. You're like, it's season 1. I have longevity. If I'm good, I'll be on it at least for 6 seasons. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, you're looking at it from
my head when I thought about it. I was like,
that's smart. That is very smart.
But like you said, lifestyle, I would also go Beverly Hills. Best friends with Sonia Morgan. I mean, we're the same. We knew that it was going to be similar like that. Our next question, which came from Tyler S. Do you hope Naomi returns to Southern Charm?
I vote yes. I'll say that immediately.
I would love to see it too.
I don't think she will, but so much has changed in her life. I definitely think she left originally because of Matul, and like all of her friends left. So it kind of all made sense. But she owns her businesses. She owns, multiple. She has her clothing. She has her restaurant. She's single now. All of her friends are like on the show, like our other friends are on the show now.
Like she's still friends with like
the Gwen's girl is on it now, and that's like her best friend.
Yeah, Leva. She's friends with Leva, I think.
Leva. And she's back in Charleston now. So I just don't see why not. Her life has changed exponentially, and it would be interesting to see it. And and Craig's dating Paige, so that would be interesting. But I don't even think they would be. I don't want to see them get back together.
No, I don't think it would be healthy for either one of them. Like, I want to see them both do well, but not together. I'd like to see her back on just like as an update and like see what's going on.
Yeah.
I saw on her Instagram stories like today or yesterday, she was posting like the whole thing of like her shop. I can never say it. It's like LeBay shop. LeBay.
Yeah, I never know LeBay. I always say LeBay.
Because I know she's French, so it's definitely a French word. And
not labia.
Not the shop labia. Honestly, kind of here for that. I would shop.
Yeah, I was like, that's great.
I'm very here for this. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I saw that she was in like her warehouse and it was massive, and like she was doing all this like construction. She's super successful businesswoman. She's always been extremely driven. I would love to see it back on just as an update. Even if she came back for one season and she was like, look, I feel like I made the right decision to leave in the first place and shouldn't come back again. Totally respect that. But I do think she fully left from Matul in the first place. And why not like kind of take the power back and be like, look, I want to go on the show again. Like, forget you. I'm going to go and show off how good I'm doing, basically.
And also, like, it's the best promotion. I know she's doing well and she doesn't need the promotion. But as we've seen from evil Bethany Frankel, if you're on TV, people will buy shit.
Oh, 100 trillion. We bought it and we reviewed it.
Yeah, I mean,
so, like, even, here we are. We
can't. Out of spite.
Yeah, we bought it. We tried it. Yeah. We tried her Fruit Loop tasting weird popcorn that we would not.
I know, that was so weird.
And it was like stale and brand new. Yeah, if y'all didn't watch, go back on our YouTube.
Did we keep eating it? Yeah. Spoiler alert.
I mean, it's food and it was there. So yeah, we continued.
Yeah.
But yes, we'd like to see it. And the next question is kind of a follow-up from Matthew L, who we love Matthew L. We always message with him on Insta. He's awesome. He wants to know when we're going to come visit Charleston.
I want to very soon. I've always wanted to go to Charleston. I only hear great things.
And your brother went recently and he like absolutely loved it, right?
Yeah, he loved it, and it's very historical. I mean, I love New Orleans, which I know it's not the same thing, but I feel like it gives a similar vibe. And I love like historical things. Like Charleston's very historic.
And we've talked about like going in the fall before. It would just be such a fun like fall trip. Like go check it out. Like because obviously we deal with hurricane season here too. I know they deal with hurricane season really bad. Maybe like a November-ish trip. Go with like all the pumpkins and like
so we should do a reality wind down
tour.
Past trip. Tour to Charleston, and Matthew can show us around.
Yes, 100%. Matthew, he has already offered to show us around.
Oh, then great.
He hangs out with some of the cast of Southern Charm too, so it'll just be like perfect. He can take us to all the spots and we can check it out.
It just all makes sense, Matthew. We'll be there soon.
I promise you, Matthew, we are going to make this work. We're going to start looking at trips because it'll be super fun. And the last question, I put Maria on here as asking it, but we got asked it a few times.
Okay.
Point blank, is Erica lying? It's like that was the most common question we got. I feel like that's the question burning around the world right now.
It really is, and I go back and forth, but I currently say yes.
I am totally with you. Like, the more time goes on, I'm like, yes.
And guys, if like, say you're listening to our podcast a month ago or a month from now, and then you come back to this episode and I'm saying I don't think she's lying, I always am going to change my mind. I'm just saying that now.
If you heard me say something else, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
like if you heard me say that, you didn't. And if you heard me say the other, you didn't. So just good thing we don't
only
keep a
if it's
record
the
of this
current
on a podcast.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like only take my current word for what I mean. Because the thing is, at this current stage, I haven't seen everything. But currently, I think she's lying.
See everything? I don't know.
No, we will not. But okay, but there's layers to this though, because I think she knows more than she leads on, but I don't think she knew everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think she decided to conveniently turn her eye and not see where the money's coming from. Avoid all these weird lawsuits popping up all over the years. Oh my God, the third lawsuit in 3 years? This is insane. But she was like, I'm not going to worry about it. It's not my business. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to do it. So
I'm sorry, you just can't say things in life like you've never been to a bank. Whenever
she married him when she was 29. Like, you never went to a bank in your 20s?
She had a son before. Like, she had a family. Like, she was independent working. You know, she was the first person ever to die on, like, Law and Order. Like, her body. It was like, no, I swear. It was like Law and Order or one of those shows. She was the first ever dead body.
I guess she never went and checked that, or cashed that check.
Never cashed that check, I guess. Never went to, because that was back in the day before just taking a picture and mobile depositing and doing all that. She went to a bank at some point. You set her up to a lie detector test, a la LVP. Oh my God, I just thought of a meme now. I'm like, we can finally settle all of this with Erica and it'll just be LVP with her.
Write it down.
You'll know if I don't write these things down, I never make them.
Yeah, I was like, I'm making you write it down now.
Otherwise, lie detector, LVP Erica. All right. Had to write it down. But yeah, we don't know. We were at a restaurant the other day and a guy walks up to us that like Chase like kind of knows and he was like, all right, is Erica lying? What's like he didn't say hi, he didn't say anything.
No. And we gave our answer and he walked away. Like that's all he needed was like our answer. And I was like, I will give you this answer every day. And it's funny because producer Joe asked me from this person, he's like, hey, he's asking, now what do you think about Erica? And I'm like, hasn't changed. Report back. Still lying.
Yes. Oh my God. I love that. I love that he keeps just checking in for your answer.
I mean,
like, subscribe to the Reality Wind Down and get our latest thoughts.
Yeah. And then Maria, because you asked, who will now get the latest update? Current update, lying.
Current update, lying. We will respond to you every week, Maria, and give our thoughts on it whenever we cover the shows. But speaking of our shows this week, that was super fun, guys. Thank you so much for the questions.
I want to start doing that like a little bit more often, because I've always like, I fancy myself. I actually don't know what I fancy myself, but I love answering questions.
Yes. Oh my God, I love a questionnaire.
So I love a question. I love giving my thoughts on like if people like, are like, what do you think about this thing and this thing? I love choosing. I love making decisions like
I even love like the questions like, oh, where else would you live? And like fun things like that.
Yeah.
Like that's like super fun. Like questions I didn't expect to get. I thought they would be all Bravo, but I'm so happy they weren't all Bravo. Like I'm glad they were some Bravo and some not. I feel like it was the perfect
good mix. So I was really appreciative. Thank you everyone for answering or asking questions.
Yeah.
And if you have any follow-ups or other questions, DM us because we're definitely going to compile them again.
DMs at any point and ask us a question, and we will probably I think like start doing this once a month maybe.
Yeah, I like that. I think we should.
Super fun. Well, all right, guys, let's jump into the Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Okay, so Robin and Gizelle are starting a podcast.
I don't need more competition.
I know, right? I was like, stop. Don't come into our territory right now. But just they really get to talking about, and I don't know, I'm so over talking about Pastor Holy Whore, but she's basically like, we're on pause right now. Like she wanted to say, like, look, our relationship was never good when we got back together. Like, I wish she would just.
I'm sorry.
That's like all I want in life.
Were we still worried about it, or thinking about it, or even thinking that they were still together? Like, genuine question. Like, did she think that we thought they were in a healthy relationship
That's
still?
my thing. It's just like always a load of excuses. I think Robin was like, I don't think the pandemic broke them up. I don't think it helped though. Like she kind of like it hurried along what was inevitably going to happen.
Yes. So this is an interesting thing that I feel like this is a combination of watching the show and also a combination of like internet
Sleuthing?
speak. Yeah, like, because like Robin, I mean, like always gives us really good like Robin commentary or sorry, Gizelle commentary in her confessionals. Robin does, and she's always says like stuff like that where it's like I never saw this happening, or something shady about Gizelle, or like giving the honest truth. But does she ever actually give it to Robin in person?
No, she like never says it to her friend's face.
No,
like she doesn't say horrible things behind her back, but she definitely says things that she doesn't want to say to her face.
Exactly, and it's like I get that's the confessional kind of like shtick, but like at the same time,
not with your friend. Like, yeah, that's true. I wish she would just say to her face, like, girl, let's be honest. But for some reason, like Gizelle is just so weird about it and like trying to hold this front up. It's like, girl, you're already divorced. Like you try to make it work again. Just say he's not a great dude. It's just a fact. Like if she said that, I think we'd all like feel more sympathy for Gizelle about this relationship.
Yeah, also. So I just feel like people have been saying that online. It's like, oh, obviously they're just like in cahoots together at all times, but it's like Robin will never actually stand up to Gizelle, it seems. So I'm starting to like see that a little bit more.
Seeing that a lot, really, now that you said that.
Yeah. So,
but anyways. Robin and Gizelle decide to text Mia and invite her for drinks without Karen. Like they make that very clear, which just was so unnecessary. The way I would have handled this, I would have been like, hey, do you want to go for drinks? Okay, I'm going to make a reservation for 3 at blah blah, and then that could have been avoided without being like, oh, without Karen, like, don't try to show up.
I just feel like so easily could have just been like, just us 3. Like I want to get to know you.
And it's not like Karen would have shown up to go have drinks with Gizelle anyways. Like, you know what I mean? It's the fact that she didn't say without Karen was just bizarre to me. It
was just obviously like shady, and she knew what she was doing. And Mia later, we like, see how she reacts. And she reacts exactly how I kind of expected her to.
Exactly how I think most people would react to it, which
so
not great, spoiler alert.
And then we get Ashley and Michael going to dinner. I will commend Ashley again. She is literally hospital bag in tow, filming.
She's a saint.
Like she is about to be in labor. Like they are waiting. It's at any time. And she's like, I'm going to go film a scene at a restaurant.
She literally like, we just have a friend that like had a baby like 2 weeks ago, and literally up until even on her due date, she came out to watch a soccer game with us, and we were like, girl, like, why are you here right now? You do not need to be. She's like, no, I'm fine. Like, I feel good. Like, I have the bag in the car in case the baby comes, but we're good. I was just like, these women are badass. But yes, Ashley.
And that's what I wrote. Literally, I was like, I don't know how she's doing it. I'm already tired all the time, lazy as hell. I could not make it during a pregnancy on top of like all the other stuff that pregnancy entails.
Exactly.
No, like men could not handle it.
I would be like, I ate too much Taco Bell. I'm feeling bloated and horrible. I can't show up to film. Like, that would literally be me. I'd be like, I can't tonight, guys. Like, y'all don't want me there. Like, I would literally have to say that. But yeah, Michael brings up that he's starting a production company. I just feel like he's literally the most annoying person on the planet. Like, your wife is like 2 days away from giving birth, and you're like, oh, we're thinking of doing this new business venture. And it clearly stresses
and that's
her out.
Not cheap.
Exactly. She's like, we'll fund movies and we'll find all this stuff. It's like, hold on, like, can you not throw this on me as I'm literally having a baby like
this
tomorrow?
Gives me vibes of Sonia Morgan's failed production company, what actually led her into bankruptcy. Oh God. So
the one that she did with the there was a Nigerian football team and a production.
Yeah, and then there was a production. There's always some big star that was supposed to be in it, and she spent like $7 million, and it like forced her to go into bankruptcy because it never happened and never got her money back. Blah blah blah. This is giving me that energy. And I can see why Ashley's annoyed about it.
It's the one other thing that we didn't talk about in New York this week, though. Like, the guy who handles Sonia's money and stuff. Like, she still does not have people around her that she can trust and are actually going to help her out. Like, she almost, and I hate saying this, but she almost needs Ramona there at these meetings, because at least Ramona, she might not be the best, but she is about her business at the end of the day. So
someone needs to be there for Sonia that actually has her best interest, because even the fact that there was one little part that annoyed me, because she said something about like, oh, a $2,000 check, that's small, I didn't even need to cash that. And I was like, what?
Girl, you literally were mad that like you had to pay for your $200 hair when you did the Luann's show.
Yeah, I was like, that like was a little bit an annoying comment. So like $2,000 is like actually life-changing money to like a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
So for you to be like, I need all this money, but like $2,000 isn't enough.
Like, stop, Sonia.
It's like, you should take all of your shekels, take it to the bank, the Morgan Bank, and deposit it, because the Morgan Bank ain't giving you shit. So you need to get your own money.
And we know that. We know that for sure.
But yeah,
but yes, production company, very weird, very shady, completely unnecessary. We also find out, because Karen is FaceTiming with her daughter, Raven, and we find out that she has become an ambassador to Surrey, which I kind of laughed at first. I was like, oh God, we're going to do this whole Surrey thing again. Mm-hmm. But then whenever she said, like it did sound really silly, but then whenever she talks about it, she's like, well, no, because like they are like rural and they need more access to like fresh produce and like laptops and stuff like that. So she's basically just taking on a position as being like a positive ambassador.
Yeah, because at face value, you're like, oh, a girl from the city is trying to advocate for the population in the country because they don't know anything. But that's not how it was.
No, it was definitely like she knew like what her mission was going to be with it, and she's going to try to help with fresh produce, making them healthier, all these different things, which sounds amazing. So I was like, go on, Karen.
Yeah, and then we see Whitney. Mia, I don't know why I said Whitney.
Whitney and Mia.
Salt Lake's not even close. Then we see Mia.
Her business, yes.
But it was like, okay, I am all for like, I believe they own all of these totally. Like I believe it, advocate for hardworking business women, all of the above. But does it feel like she's really stepped foot in that place like ever before?
Do you know the vibe it's giving me? And like, I know that Vicky actually works, but I always felt like anytime anything came up with business or whatever, Vicky was like, I'm the only person who's ever worked and I'm the only one that does this. And I do all this stuff. Like, it just gives me very much that vibe. She's like, oh, why do we have another Mia in the system? Like, she does not go there. And it's fine.
No.
Like, it doesn't matter.
It's fine. You don't need to always run your business at your said business place, because she has 14 like branches. That's a lot to manage. It was just funny because it just seemed uncomfortable for her even.
It was very awkward. And the fact that it's like, okay, I'm just like so busy and being a mom. And I do think there's like a huge like balance that you have to find when you're a working mom. But it's just the fact that her like husband's like, well, hold on, you don't need to be there. Like, we're good. You don't need to make this your whole storyline because like we're good.
Okay, so this is like kind of my thing. And I think I feel like first season housewives always like fall into this like rut, is they have one thing that they want to highlight, and Mia's is her business and mom, like, that fight, but it's all they harp on the entire season, and it becomes, people become a little bit annoyed. I think that was Wendy with her degrees last season. Like, it's that whole thing where it's like they have their one thing. Oh my
God, that's badass, but we don't need to talk about it 10 times a day.
And same thing with me. I'm like, badass that you own all this stuff. Like, power to you. I love it, but we don't need to hear about it every 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's giving very much that.
Yeah, and I think every housewife does that. It just happens to be those two, because we're talking about Potomac, but a lot of it's all first season housewives have that one thing the producers tell them, talk about this constantly, because it makes you like, this is your thing, and they just can't get away from it.
It's so weird to me though. I don't know why producers think that that's what we want to see whenever people are tweeting.
No, but they keep doing it. So
I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. But we do have Robin going to work out, and she says, I'm hoping this will help get me out of my pandemic funk.
Mm-hmm.
Juan's a basketball coach. He's always like, get up, get out, go work out, go do something. So she has Escala and Wendy join her, and Candiace calls and invites everyone to a PJ party because she is moving out of her house. So the final party at the townhouse. And I was like, okay, that'll be a fun little moment.
Yeah, it's cute. Candiace always just gives me like little girl vibes. Like 100%. She, like, I mean, I'm all for like a pajama party. I would probably do the same thing. So it's like, I'm talking shit about something I would definitely say yes to. But it's just always like, Candiace calling, like, I'm moving out of a house. We have to throw a girls' pajama party to say goodbye. And I'm just like, it's just very like
also
childish
in a way. Like so much drama around the townhouse. So the fact that she wants one more party and she doesn't just want to like get the hell out of there is kind of funny to me.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Bing barked. Bing, bing. Oh. Just, he wanted his opinion to be known about Candiace's townhouse.
Let us know that he was down for a pajama party. Yeah. So, all right, Bing.
He literally was like, lies. You're in your pajamas constantly.
Yeah, I know. He's like, that's all y'all do is like hang out in the sweats. Like, stop trying me.
I literally am in sweats right now. It's like,
I know. He is in sweat. I am not in sweats right now.
Yeah, you look great.
Stop. What? I wasn't fishing for that at all. I don't know what you're talking about. But then we do have Karen and Mia having tea, which once again, it's so funny to me that Mia is Karen's friend and she's never been to her house before.
Yeah,
she's like,
love it.
Like,
love casting.
It's fabulous. Like that.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
Amazing. I'm totally obsessed with it. But Mia does let Karen know about the text that Gizelle and Robin sent. And her response was along the lines of, unless you want to talk business, like, don't bother hanging out with me. If you want to talk business, you can get penciled in and you can talk to my assistant to make that happen for you.
That's my only ding on Mia is like, girl, just say, like, don't tell me who to invite or not to invite. Like, Karen's my girlfriend. Yes. Like, just invite me by myself, but you don't have to say the Karen thing. Don't make it about this whole business thing, because, like,
I literally
that's going to set them off.
No, I literally wrote, basically, Mia's coming in thinking she's like a big boss or whatever, this whole work narrative she's painting. And she doesn't want anyone putting stipulations on who she can and can't bring to drinks. But this wasn't a business meeting. These were just like two friends, obviously being shady, inviting you. Like I said, the best way to handle it would have been, I'm making a table for 3 at Nobu, wherever the hell they're going to go.
They were clearly being shady, duh. But like the Mia's response of like having to add the business aspect into it was just like not needed.
Completely unnecessary, and really almost like you're trying to put someone else down. Because even if someone doesn't work, it's really not your business. It's because say, oh, mom, you work your ass off. Like it's really irrelevant.
Yeah, because I don't think she's like doing that intentionally by any means. I think she just wants to like highlight, like, I'm busy, I'm hardworking. But naturally, if you're being told that, you're gonna take it that way, that she's saying that you don't have anything going on. I would.
No, 100%.
So it's like, I don't think she means it, but that's what it sounds like. And so I'm just like, you shouldn't even bring it up. You think she means it?
Kind of meant it to sound shady. I think she was like, if you're going to try to do this to me, I'm going to go back to you and I'm going to be like, sorry.
Don't got time for this because I don't have all the time.
That's the vibe I was getting from
Okay. Her, but I mean, I see it.
I don't know if I'm wrong. Okay, we go to Candiace in a studio session. She's like talking about how she's supporting her musical endeavors, like she didn't sign with a label.
And just you. Separate song, but yeah.
Awful. Am I wrong? Like
I think she sounded fine.
She sounded very like breathy. Like it was a little bit like
she was trying to sound sexy, I think, and I just don't think that's what she needs to be doing. But I was confused. Where was Chris, her manager, at? Why wasn't he at this recording session?
He was at a cooking class because he does those cooking classes. He did say he was at.
As a manager, he needs to be a lot more focused on her career.
You mean a husbander, Chase?
Husbander. I apologize.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, girl, we get it.
It was fine. I mean, I'm never gonna listen to any of her songs. I only have the bandwidth for Coffee and Love.
Oh my god, Coffee and Love. How do I not ever? Oh my god, that is like still, y'all. If y'all haven't heard Ashley's song Coffee and Love, it occasionally comes into my head, and I like it gets. So thank you for that. It's stuck in the head for the rest of the weekend.
I can't believe it didn't pop in your head right now. I'm happy I brought it to you.
I'm gonna write down. I just need to give a shout out on our Instagram of Coffee and Love by Ashley in case people haven't experienced it.
In case people forgot
that some people probably haven't heard it. Like, especially if you're new to Potomac, why would you remember that? Like, true. I feel like we've been trying to convince people, like, all right, if you're sleeping on Potomac, stop. Like, you need to get involved.
Yeah, I tell everyone that, like, off the podcast.
Yeah, like, oh my god, same. I'm like, if you're not watching Potomac, then what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you need to get involved because one of the best franchises on right now. But yes, we're gonna do a shout out to Coffee.
Coffee and Love.
It's best when hot. And then, oh god, there's so many scenes that I'm just looking forward to posting. But we go to Giselle's daughter Grace taking her permit test for like the 4th time.
I didn't even take a note on that.
Yeah, it was just like they were like kikiing and like they're like, okay, you're gonna go on and you're gonna like kill it this time. She failed again. It was very sad.
Oh, that was sad. I actually think I failed first. I can't remember. I need to ask my mom.
Did you?
I don't know. I have to remember. I felt like some weird emotion came out of me. I was like, did I fail it as well?
I am very curious now. We're gonna have to ask your mom about
I need to ask about that. Because I was not a fan of studying for anything. I always thought I could just like walk in and like do whatever.
But I really felt like that's kind of how that, like, I didn't really study either.
Okay. No, cool.
I think that, well, it's random questions, right? And I think I got lucky that I kind of got the common sense questions on mine. Like, because a lot of mine were like pretty easy, I feel like.
Watch me have the same test as you, and I was like, oh my god, what is a double white line?
That's the same one. You're like, what? With speed limit, what's that?
A blinker? What?
Who? Blink her, blink him. What is this?
I was like, of course I'm gonna blink. I'm driving. I have to blink.
I can't with you. We're gonna inquire with his mom and find out if he's probably be scared to tell you the truth because she knows you can.
I'll cry immediately, like 12 years later.
Sorry, I didn't know I'd give Chase PTSD with the driver's license.
I know. Why do you think I skipped it?
I'm so sorry about that. I'm really sorry. But we do get to the jammy party, and everyone comes in. They do their shot of Fireball.
Shot of Fireball.
But Karen asked Robin about her wedding plans, and Robin was very shady back. She's like, "We're in no rush," and she says in her interviews, "If Karen wants to have a super spreader party to prove she loves Ray's penis, then go ahead." I was like, "Oh, but true." Like,
so we were talking about how we had multiple housewives, extra friend ofs. I think a common friend of throughout the entire series has been Ray's penis.
Ray's penis.
Yeah, he's a big fixture. Like, he's actually more scenes than Ray himself.
Fixture? We don't know, do we?
We don't know.
Do we know? I would be. I'm not curious at all. That's a lie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not curious, and the fact that I'm even thinking about it is not great.
Yeah, I'm like, and we're gonna erase that from our brains immediately.
Yeah, I immediately go because the thing is, it just leads down such a bad path. Because I just think of Karen humping that damn pillow.
No, we're not doing this. We're not. I'm done with you. We're not doing this. I cannot mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, soul, brain. I cannot do this right now.
If only I could elaborate on the scene I'm having in my brain.
Karen on the pillow. Oh my god, I can't with you.
Great watching.
But Candiace does say she forgot to invite Ashley.
No, she did not.
But yeah, girl, if you forgot, then yeah, it didn't happen. You didn't want to.
I did love that we got a little Karen flashback when she was really drunk on Fireball. I think it was last season. That was fun. I like that. I want to see that Karen again.
It's just like, but it's one of those things that like, that's what sucks about being on a TV show, because like we all want to have our moments. We get too drunk and we do whatever, and then when they keep showing it back, you know, like she's watching the episode and she's like, oh god, do I have
if Karen's on season 10, they're gonna flash back to that Fireball.
If there's an opportunity, like someone's always gonna bring out Fireball just so it shames Karen and flashes back to her moment. But they do get to talking about the message that Mia sent back to Gizelle and Robin. And Escala jumps in and she's like, I think that was really rude. I was like, oh, okay, she's trying to make her point.
I was like, Escala's really coming for that housewives spot.
She really is. And Mia's response, once again, as we've been talking about, how many businesses do you own? Like, she's like, a lot. And also, how is that relevant to anything? And Robin's like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? They all could have jumped back at Mia. Like, you sound super out of order.
I will give Mia this, though. Before, Bing, stop. Bing.
Our golden child never barks.
I know. I'm not there. I keep hearing stuff outside. Like, there's someone like doing yard work.
It is a Friday night. Like, we're recording this on a Friday evening. That's true. We're dropping on Saturday this week.
It's more active, but it's okay.
No, like dogs. We're fine.
Yeah, dogs are fine. It's just a little, Bing barking. You love his commentary, right? I hope so, because it's staying.
He has things to say on Potomac, and we're not going to silence him, okay?
But what I was trying to say before Bing rudely interrupted me was that I will give Mia credit for saying that her response was a little bit aggressive.
Yeah.
And she said that before Escala came at her. So she was trying to be like, okay, yeah, like I shouldn't have been like that. Like that was a little bit unnecessary. Then Escala came after her and then she did the whole business thing. So I'll give her at first I was like, yes, Mia, this is how you do it.
But then she quickly went right back down on it. But I love that Candiace jumped on the table and was like, we're not fighting, we're playing Prosecco Pong. I was like, yes, I love this.
Shut it down real quick.
Even though they were all terrible at Prosecco Pong, it still was fun to break it up. Mia does pull Gizelle to the side and she apologizes to her. And she's like, it's I think they kind of they seem like they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it'll be fine. I mean, at least it was good for now. And I think I always kind of say it's I don't mind if they keep fighting later, but to be able to squash it in the moment and at least have some genuine kind of little goofy quirky moments,
right?
Please, because I can't have just one constant fight all the time. It just gets so old. So
totally with you. But they do play a game of Never Have I Ever, and Mia does clarify that she got vaginal rejuvenation, not her clit redone.
Which I'm sorry, didn't we just? I thought that the whole time. I kind of understood what she meant. No?
I mean, as they all explained, the vagina and the clit are two very different situations. So I think they maybe were all thinking that she got something done to her. I mean, I don't know.
I just don't know what she clarified. Done to it. But I mean, I don't
because it is the way they all reacted. If she had said vaginal rejuvenation, I don't think anyone would have cared because it's super common. Loads of them. Sonia's gotten it on camera. Loads of housewives have gotten it. It's not a big deal. But when she said her clit redone, it just. I think that maybe they thought that she had to, I don't know, something else.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it made it sound more extreme. But it wasn't necessarily shocking. She's this is what I meant. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I just I think, again, I like that she's very transparent.
Yeah.
Yes, she used a different term, whatever, who cares? But there's always Gizelle having opinions about her. And I'm just like, girl, you don't have to like her, but like,
yeah,
don't act
Gizelle
like.
always has a lot of opinions, but she's really upset when someone talks about anything to do with her. So I'm like, guess I'm consistent there.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the episode, Ashley is really panicking because she has to leave baby Dean because she's going into labor. And it's like really emotional actually to see her like that, but she is headed to the hospital to have baby number 2, and that's how the episode ends for us.
I'm good for her because I know she loves her children, but having 2 children with Michael Darby, woo!
I know,
that is a choice of a lifetime.
It is truly, I mean, it is a choice, that's for sure. It is a choice of a lifetime, but it is a choice. But at least she has beautiful little children out of it. And
I was gonna say, like, I know she's very happy because it's like a gift to have 2 children. Yeah. But it's just the baby daddy. Oof. No.
He's just not a great person, as we all know.
No, not a fan. I'm not a fan.
No, y'all know that I'm not a fan. Y'all know he scares me at night.
Sleep
on that, I think that we should head to Beverly Hills. And this episode was entitled Ice Queen of the Desert. I was like, okay, so we know where this is headed pretty much. But they wake up in the morning at Kyle's La Quinta house, and it is a freaking mess. It is
disgusting.
We look like after we've been at your parents' house, like partying in the pool until like 5 in the morning. Like we stay out till 5, and then like I sleep for 8 hours, and I wake up and the house is clean. But I can't imagine what y'all wake up to. I imagine it's not.
But I also kind of appreciate it. Well, I actually was annoyed by the comment, but I would like do the same. And they're like, oh my god, what are we gonna do? And Kyle's like, oh, I called someone to clean it. And I was like,
I know, okay. It is so annoying, but it's like, God.
But that's why I picked that cast to be on, because I don't want to clean that shit either.
That's true. I think Dorit says later in the episode at one point, like, if you could be Kathy Hilton and not have to do anything for yourself, why wouldn't you? And I was like, yeah,
exactly.
True. But the producers asked, like, why did it turn into a dance party if like they were trying to make them like a relatable little moment? And Kyle was like, because we love to dance. Shows them dancing. I was like, okay, like
I'm so happy you said that, because I was like, this is a sad dance party. And I get there was like no one, like, you know, it's just them. But I was just like, did we need to see this depressing dancing?
We didn't. Let's call it what it is. We didn't.
Did not need that.
But this morning, the news does come out that Tom had been in the hospital previously. I remember when the story leaked and we had obviously talked about it then. But yeah, it was the story that he had been in the hospital for an illness prior. It was like 3-4 months prior to the story breaking. Basically, Tom's legal team trying to.
Oh my God, hold on.
Oh my God, are you okay?
Sorry. We should have talked about this in Hot Takes, but have you seen those pictures of Tom?
Oh my God, we do need to talk about these. Oh my God, I feel like it happened on like Sunday, so I like missed.
I meant to text you about that, but I mean, we can talk about it now. Insane.
That is genuinely like my granddad had Alzheimer's and dementia. I know that you had it in your family. He truly looks.
He looks bad.
Like someone. It's a very specific look almost, and it is like, I know he's a bad person, but it is like a heartbreaking image to see when someone's dealing with that.
Yeah,
like I mean, yeah. Looks to me like he's dealing with dementia or something. But yeah, he had a black eye.
Even if he's not, he's looking bad, and clearly things have taken a downturn on his health. His livelihood, his everything, demeanor, and it just looked like he wasn't all there, just from his eyes. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, the kind of the look you're kind of saying. It's like he wasn't completely there. You could tell he was like confused. He had a black eye. He was gaunt. It was just so wild. He looks like he lost
like 50. It's just
oh my God, yeah.
The juxtaposition of seeing him in his suit 3 seasons ago, sharp as a tack, like
like jokey, quick. Like ball, charming, like
very, very jarring to see.
So that was very wild. Those pictures coming out. So
they definitely, they on this morning they're talking about the hospitalization that he'd had prior for an undisclosed illness. I remember when that all came out, we had talked about it. But this moment absolutely cracked me up when Crystal came back over to the house because she's staying at the hotel. And I think Kyle says, those are such cute pants to Crystal. And then it pans to Sutton like this. Like, it just like so like after the pants moment. Like, we love like when the producers do the like, yeah, that was hilarious to me. But Kathy comes downstairs and she's like, I couldn't sleep. I was boiling. Kyle had it 76 in here. You know me, I drop my house down to 65 every night, and I put a fan in my face.
I would have thrown a fit. I do the same thing. You know, I cannot sleep in the heat. I hate the heat.
Oh my, that's like, I love the heat, but I cannot sleep in the heat. Like, I love the heat for when it's appropriate. When I'm going to bed, I want to be under 3 blankets and freezing cold. Like, sue me. That's like what I'm here for.
Fair enough.
But then the ladies decide to go biking, minus Kathy and minus Sutton, because
Kathy went. Oh
yeah, back to bed. Kathy was like, "I am going back to sleep." I did not sleep. She probably cranked the air down as soon as Kyle left.
That's what I was like. I love that so much. It was kind of like, it's not a Queen Kathy icon moment of the week necessarily, but it was just kind of like, oh my god, I just love that she comes down, films for 1 second. I was like, I'm going back to sleep and I'm not doing either activity y'all are doing.
Yes, I live for it. I absolutely live for it. But the ladies go biking into town, and that does, speaking of our Queen Kathy moment of the week, lead us into our Queen Kathy moment of the week. Whenever she calls the ladies and she says, "Can you guys bring, Kyle, do you have a straw in the house?" And Kyle was like, "I don't think so." She's like, "Do you have chia seeds? Chia seeds? Why can I not say it?" And she was like, "No." And she's like, "Well, can you please bring me a straw and chia seeds back to the house?" It's
and Kyle's like, "I don't just have like access to that right now."
Yeah, she's like, "I'm just okay. I can probably find you a straw. I don't think I can find you seeds." But that absolutely, I was like, "That's why we love Kathy Hilton." Like, whether or not she is that quirky or she, I live for it. Absolutely obsessed with her. But that's when Dorit did say, "I mean, if you don't need to be self-sufficient, then why wouldn't you just be Kathy?" And
exactly. Like, she's like, "You have someone doing it for her, so whatever."
Exactly. But they do sit in the park and they talk about the Erica stuff again. Kind of nothing we didn't know at this moment. But I think Rena is the one that says it, because someone says, "I think she needs to figure out the money and blah, blah, blah." And Rena says, "I don't think there's any money left."
Yeah, and I think that was the big takeaway out of the scene, was just like, they all kind of agree. It's all dried up. There's nothing for her to get. Like, I mean, properties, but all that's going to have to be paid to other people.
I mean, speaking of properties, you really segued that.
Oh, well, there you go.
Erica was like, "I've been told I have a house in the same neighborhood in La Quinta that Kyle's home is in, but I've never been there." And Sutton makes a comment like, "Well, you really need to try to like figure this out." And Kyle was like, "I'm going to see if I can find you in the directory because you were listed in there. Maybe I can find the house." And Sutton said, "Well, it wasn't until I got divorced that I found out I had I had stakes in 2 minor league baseball games."
I was like, rich girl meets rich girl, where it's like,
yeah.
Because like, oh yeah, until I was divorced, I didn't realize as rich as I was.
Yeah.
I found out even more. I found out I was like a lot richer than I was when we got divorced.
I found out that I like own sports teams.
Like, it's so wild. But also, okay, I think Erica believes this makes her seem like she was held in the dark or like left out of Tom's affairs, so she didn't know about these houses. But it's actually just pissing me off, because it was like, girl, you knew these houses were there. You've alluded to that. You knew the houses were there. You used to brag about how many houses you had that you didn't know about.
And they show a flashback to where she did brag about it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the house there, blah, blah, blah. And now she tries to make it like, "I've thought about there could be another family there. I've thought about," and I think, did you point out her voice changes?
Yes, it changes when she's trying to like be taken seriously.
It
drops.
I think. Yes. I think it's when she's lying is what I'm getting more at. I think she pointed that out. And it's like, yeah, it's not just when she's trying to be taken seriously. I think it's when she starts telling stories.
Yeah, because it's slow. She's thinking out everything she's saying, and it's long and drawn out because she wants it to be dramatic and like a lie. And I told you, it's like when she says something, she gets this weird voice on.
Yeah, and I had noticed the voice, but I've never noticed the times it came out. But I'm really thinking it's whenever she's lying now. So I'm like trying to keep a tab on whenever her voice gets deeper and like go to that. But yeah, she's claims that she doesn't know about this house.
And again, like I said, it doesn't make her look good like she thinks it does. Because she thinks it's like winning us over, being like, "Oh my god, she was just so out of it and out of the loop. Tom was the worst." But I'm like, no, this just actually makes you more like rich girl problems. And it's like,
exactly. But they do go and play croquet in like the middle of town. Cute. Garcelle shows up. They were talking about Garcelle not being there yet, but they get back to the house and Garcelle shows up in a hazmat suit, which was iconic.
Love Garcelle. I was so happy she finally showed up.
Oh, so iconic. But they're all going to go to a dinner over at like Erica's room at the hotel. And Crystal is like sitting there having, well, she was gonna have a drink with her, but she didn't have any alcohol in her room. But she's like catching Garcelle up on all the Erica stuff. And Garcelle's just like, I'm really confused because like all this cheating stuff, because Erica was just at my house last week and I point blank asked her, was there cheating going on? And Erica was like, there was no cheating going on or anything like that. And she's like, I'm getting very confused, and this is why we freaking live for Garcelle, because she's not going to just play along like some other ladies. She's like, I feel like you're telling me two different stories, and I want to, like, if I'm going to be your friend, like, tell me the truth, right? Like,
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Up until this current point, I feel like Kyle has been teeing up Erica with easy questions to make herself look better. Garcelle's not going to do that, and I appreciate that. And she didn't do that with Lisa Rinna whenever she did Denise stuff, and she's not going to do it with Erica right now. No, and I think the other girls have some sort of agreement to be like, we're going to help you, we're going to make you look good, blah, blah. But I think Erica doesn't know how to lie well enough, or there's just so many lies she can't keep up, because I think even they're starting to be like, I don't know if we can help you out of this one.
And the thing with it is, it's not like Garcelle is saying these things to like be malicious. Garcelle is just like the realest one. She's like, no, like, I just want to know, keep your story straight with me, like you just said. And it's really hard whenever you are telling so many different stories. But we do find out at the dinner that Kyle found Erica's house, and she said, you don't have it anymore. They actually sold it a couple years ago. And she's like, oh, great. Like, and she goes into her a little bit of like poor me routine. And Sutton is like really getting into like the whole like forensic teams and talking to her about like the legalities of things. And she's like, you know, like, your spouse's assets are communal property, so like your forensics team will be so important in helping you figure out what you should get paid monthly. And I mean,
this was at the dinner, right?
Yeah, this was at the dinner.
Did you love that, like, it's as if they've never seen like takeout bags before? Like, whenever they were like, oh my god, these takeout bags, so cute.
Oh my god, like, oh my god, did I not notice this? I remember when Kathy brought back like the 58 tacos.
No, I think that, what was that, before or after? Or that was later. That was later. But like in this scene, like when they're just like at dinner at like the hotel, because like they're at Erica's hotel room now.
Did I not notice the food?
And they brought in food because Crystal was like, oh, they couldn't like serve it, so they brought it in like to-go containers. And they're all taking out of the bag, and at least everyone was like, oh my god, this is so cute. To-go boxes? And I'm like,
oh my god, I must have been writing at that moment, because I would have totally noticed that.
Like, yeah, you have to go back to that. It's like kind of like, y'all are so out of touch.
I am 100% gonna go back and watch that now. And these are but these are the same people that literally, like, Kyle gets like the In-N-Out truck at all of her parties. Like, it's not like you haven't seen and eaten.
Right?
They were just eating. No, they did. It was earlier. It was after croquet. Kathy brought back the tacos, so they had just seen fast food tacos. Like, it's not like. Once again, the consistencies you love to not forget. But they do go around and they play the one-word game to describe yourself at dinner, and we're totally gonna have to play this. You said we have to, and I am with you because it sounds like so much fun. But we find out that Crystal is like the 76th like generational to Confucius. Like, she's related to Confucius.
She mentioned it before, but like it's kind of cool to hear more about it.
Like, to hear her go into detail, I was just like, oh my god, that's amazing. But then, okay, we get into the meat of this dramatic moment on this episode. Garcelle, Crystal, and Erica go hiking, and Garcelle's kind of opening up about her family some more, talking about all her siblings and stuff. And the other ladies go shopping, and of course, Kyle, they FaceTime Nikki Hilton, and they're roasting Kathy's outfit. She was dressed like insane, but I kind of love when she was like, it's a girls' trip in the desert, like there's no one around, like I'm gonna be comfortable. Who are we trying to impress?
But it's just funny because she's the richest one out of anyone there by a lot.
That's
and she's just like,
money.
There you go, whispers, baby.
Yeah, and she whispered in like her blue mask and her crazy hat, and I love it.
I have to just say this really quickly. Joe insisted that I say this to you and make it known that he is currently a Sutton stan. He's enjoying her, and he's enjoying her because she's so insane. It's not like I like her and I relate to her. She's a normal person or is like likable necessarily. She's fucking crazy, and he just loves her. Like, he says that she is a housewife. Like, that is like, she embodies what the franchise and what this show is all about. Are so out of touch. Women that like kind of like just flowing through life, and he says that about Kathy too. It's like, that's what we're watching.
And I will say now that Sutton and Crystal are past their stuff, I'm enjoying Sutton again.
Yeah.
I really struggled whenever she had all the stuff going on with Crystal because I was like, she just sounds so ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, she did, but it was entertaining.
But now I am definitely enjoying her more and enjoying her like stance on the divorce and stuff. So I will say that I am more Team Sutton. I'm not Team Sutton, but like I'm more into Sutton being a housewife than I was at the beginning of the season.
Joe just wanted me to sprinkle that in there.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not mad at that. It was just I struggled whenever, like I said, she had stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's back to just being like quirky, weird, and throwing in that she owns a minor league baseball team and didn't know.
Like stuff like that. You're like, what? Who just says stuff like that?
That is what I'm for sure more into.
But okay, back to our dramatic, sweeping, sitting on a mountain scene with Crystal, Erica, Garcelle.
Yes, Garcelle just starts like digging in deep with Erica and like kind of asking the difficult questions. And Erica is just like, I had no access to money when I needed it. Like I would have to ask him for cash and, all this stuff. And Garcelle says point blank, did you have a heads up on the lawsuit? Is that why you got divorced?
There you go. Did you know it all before you divorced him?
And
biggest question of it all.
That is what we all really wanted to know when she asked it. And Erica said, I didn't. This was a long time coming with someone's personality that totally changed after his head injury. And
this pissed me off, actually.
Garcelle was like, what? So she tells her about the head injury situation. And this is totally with you. This is what pissed me off. Erica's like, I believe that if these things happen that, they're saying happened with like the legal stuff, they happened because he mentally declined. Like, girl, the lion.
He's been stealing his whole career.
Exactly. The lion air suit was like 20 years ago. This family on the documentary, those two badass women that were
like
fighting
2011.
Yes, like 2009, 2010, 2011. This did not happen over the last 4 years. So like the fact that she's like, oh, I was so pissed too. I'm so glad you said you were angry.
I was just like, no, I agree. Maybe his attitude shifted towards you in the past 3 years, right? But like his actual career shit has not changed because of his head injury. No. Also, his head injury when he fell out of a car that you found him in a fucking ravine after he called you. Is that what she's talking about?
Like, I do believe that, like, and I think I've read this before, like, Alzheimer's and dementia can be brought on from head injuries. But
for sure. But the story makes no sense.
So exactly, so bizarre. If she had said he fell in the kitchen and like smashed his head, and like that changed, like with her stuff, that would have changed that he was a terrible person prior. But, like, it's like, okay,
but that's what I'm saying. She's trying to use this as the reason why he's not mentally sound is because his head injury. And I'm like, maybe that's the case for the past 3 years, but what about the past 20?
Yeah.
And also,
no, go ahead.
Oh, also, it was just like she says that she knows nothing about the law firm. But then later, or not later, maybe in the same scene, she's kind of like, the lawyers feel comfortable enough to call her and be like, hey, Tom is doing this and Tom is doing that. If they didn't know her and if she wasn't involved, why would they call her to express their feelings about their boss if she didn't have any sort of like sway?
The inconsistencies are absolutely.
I didn't understand that at all. I was like, no one would do that if they didn't think that you had pull over him.
100%, or if you didn't have any formal relationship with them to feel close.
Yeah, exactly. But she has nothing to do with the law firm. And I'm not saying she's a lawyer, but she could have like, I go to events, I throw parties, we're always around each other, I'm friends with them, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's all still important.
Like, we're not lawyers by any means, but I can understand whenever, like, when things are shady and things are up. I don't think you always know, but I think when it goes this deep, like, when your stories become so inconsistent, and like she starts saying in this scene that Tom calls her every day and he's like, I love you, I miss you, come home, as we talked about earlier. She tells this right there in front of Garcelle, and they go back to the house, and Garcelle is kind of like talking to all the ladies, and Erica's sitting right there too, and she kind of says, Erica shared, if you don't mind me saying, and she looks over to Erica, that Tom still calls her. And Erica gets that look on her face. Well, I do mind because you're betraying my friendship. You got it out of me once, you got it out of me again. Like, go on, like, have your moment. And I just like, that's like the face you just pulled is exactly how I feel when Erica gets like that, like, nasty tone and like aggressive. It's just like, what are you doing?
She just becomes so like evil so quickly. And Kyle kind of like, I mean, I don't know if Kyle says it. I think she does in a confessional, which leads to have the flashback of the boat in Hong Kong when she's like the whole like yelling at, I don't remember who it was. Eileen, yeah. You don't know what I go through at night kind of situation. Yeah. And it's like out of nowhere that she flips like that. And you're like, well, this is very freaky, intense. And it's just like so uncalled for, which goes back to what we were saying at the very beginning of our episode of like, did Garcelle know beforehand? Because Crystal says that she told us both, but Garcelle didn't hear Erica say, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Right. But again, I'm sorry, you can't say that whenever you're speaking on a loaded mic that's going to be on national TV.
A loaded mic, as you keep saying. Exactly.
It's out
like,
there. I'm sorry.
It's out there. Like, it was going to get out either way.
Yeah. I mean, I did find it odd that Garcelle brought it up, but like, I don't think it was like bad, because the thing is, she said much worse shit last night.
I just think that Garcelle was genuinely shocked. She literally said, like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, you've been so open. Like, this is like the last thing I want to do is ever like have you looking at me like you're looking at me right now, because I did not.
I mean, Garcelle even like teared up. She's like, I'm so like, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, she was literally talking about him cheating last night, him falling down a mountain, him lying, him having multiple affairs, him being the worst husband he can possibly be. But now she said he's been calling her. It's because the thing is because she's been talking to him, I think.
I think she realized at that moment she
said too much.
And the reaction was not truly towards Garcelle. It was towards being pissed at herself for doing that. And she was like, I was sharing a private moment. Like, sometimes not everything's up for discussion. Once again, loaded mic, it wasn't a private moment.
Also, I'm sorry, like, Crystal is a new friend of yours, and you tell her, but your friends that you always say is your girls, your solid group, can't know?
Exactly.
So if this was such a private moment, you would have never told Crystal, I think.
And I loved whenever Sutton said that to the camera. She was like, what did Garcelle ask that was that bad? Like, of all the things you've told us.
Even Kyle was like, Erica goes off. It's weird.
Yeah. I think she realized she messed up massively. And that could be literally one of the things that gets her in legal trouble, or, you know what I mean? Like, I think
we know that people are watching every scene of this minute by minute, second by second.
Times with a fine-tooth comb. And they're, But that was the end of Beverly Hills this week. And it was a freaking good episode. And it was a lot to
It is firing. And I know it's at the downfall of Erica, but I'm interested. I'm interested.
Like, no one wants a downfall of anyone, right? But like,
it's happening.
Done, and
it's not our doing.
Exactly. The actions have happened. We're not wishing bad things to happen to people. We're just like, this journey she's on is being shared with television. It's things that have happened, and we're just.
And I'm sorry, if there wasn't a crime committed, we wouldn't be talking about said crime.
Exactly. Like, all we want is the truth out of it. I just want to know what actually went down. Will we ever know what Sheila knew? No,
we probably won't. Speaking of other cons, I also meant to bring this up during the hot takes. I saw today that going back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, OG cast, Kim Zolciak is starting a spiritual online company where you can sign up as a premium member to get her spiritual, her and another girl, y'all can life.
Is it Grandma Rose coming back through her?
I think so, honestly. And
call it Grandma Rose.
It's for $77 a month. You can sign up to go to meetings with Kim Zolciak, and it is called what is it called? Spiritual Academy.
Oh my god, that sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Quote, it's for anyone who wants to increase their vibration and manifest their desires.
Well, if they want that, they should just buy Karen's vibrating pillow. On that note, I'm going to say, if you enjoyed our episode, please take 5 seconds to go rate us 5 stars. It's the easiest, the fastest way to show our podcast some love. And if you just want to leave 5 stars, that's great. If you want to leave a small comment, just as great. Whatever you can do, we appreciate it. And thank you for listening. Please, this was a fun one. We will be back together in person next week, guys.
I know. So excited. Cannot wait. I will see you Sunday.
See you Sunday. Cheers.
Cheers.